Preschool classroom haul. Let's check out what I got. The first thing is Theraputty. If you've seen my videos, you know that I use this a lot in my classroom. It's great for helping with fine motor skills, strengthening the hand muscles. I found that the pink has been the best consistency for my classroom. You can see on the top here, it will show you colors. The tan is extra soft, yellow is extra soft. I guess that they would call this red. The red is soft, and I found that this is the best for my students. The green is the next one, and that's medium. I do have that, and I feel like it's a little bit too hard for my preschoolers. They can't even get it out of the tub. It's very strong. So I wanted to compare. I haven't had this one in a long time and see what the yellow is like. Okay, that's definitely softer. So what I like to do with this is add different kinds of gems and little manipulatives in here for them to find it. But my students will play with this every single day of the year. Somebody will come and ask if they can play with this at the table. So they are super enticed by it, and it's great for our fine motor skills. I really like the yellow, actually. I think yellow and red are great for preschool. Next, this is a book that I got at the library a few months ago. The week that we got it, we probably read it 20 times. This is the one he wanted to read over and over. I really want the cake. Her mom makes a cake and she tries really hard to ignore it, to walk away, but she really wants the cake. So eventually she does give in and she eats the cake. Then she decides it's easy to make a cake. She'll try making one of her own. The wow word chaos is in here. So my 4-year-old uses that word now because we talked about it so many times. At the end, she made a cake. Next, from Learning Resources, I got these color mixing lenses. So I thought this was really cool that they could stick them in here and see what happens when you mix yellow and blue. That makes green. I might put it at my science center, but I also think it can be used at my light table. Next, I have these in my classroom. In the year, I'll get this out and put it in the dramatic play or even in my science center because it's, what's that called? Gosh, what is that? So it used to not have this button that actually works and makes a sound and a light. So that's a new addition to this camera. And my son has been playing with this nonstop. He absolutely loves it. That is the best pretend camera that I've come across. Next, you know that I use jumbo timers in my classroom. So I wanted to try a different brand. Now these are smaller than the ones that I currently have in my classroom. So we'll see how this works, but I'm actually kind of excited that they're smaller because the ones that I use now take up a lot of room. I have them on one of my shelves. I wouldn't put these all out. I kind of teach my students which ones mean what. So a lot of times, like if they're waiting on a center, I tell them that you need to give their friends 10 minutes. So they pick up the 10-minute sand timer, and that seems to be the one that we use most often. So this has 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 30 minutes, and 3 minutes. So the 3-minute sand timer I typically put in my take a break center. My students can go to the take a break center on their own if they just want to be by themselves, play with some sensory materials. But sometimes I will send a student to the take a break center if they're really having a hard time following directions, problem solving, working with the other students. And they can use this 3-minute sand timer, flip it over, and once it's finished, they can freely find a new center. That's kind of fun how they fit together like that. Isn't that cool? Okay, I really like these. We'll see how they hold up. Last but not least, I got this because when I've had similar toys to this that are kind of open-ended, my students are really drawn to them and they do lots of fun things with them. So yes, there are cards. Let me show you. There are cards that they can follow to try to make their exact pattern on the card. But I think more often than not, they're just going to be building with these. And what you see is they come up with things that you wouldn't even have thought of to build and see what they can do. I think we could see like how tall can you make it without it falling over. Typically toys like this that are open-ended are a huge hit.